So, where we left off, you guys had been on 3 separate excursions through Westgate after meeting with Mumushi, the drunken master of kind of folklore, specifically in Westgate, but kind of from further abroad as well, which Eartha you had heard rumblings of. But becoming acquainted with this guy, he kind of give you some little jobs to go and meet some of his former colleagues / friends, which each of you did. Eartha, you went and met Chuko, the kind of spiritualist cleric of the former adventuring protective band known as the Nine Golden Swords, who you recruited after scaring off some brigands who'd been harassing her shrine to Chontea. Samura, you investigated the tower of Sopata Raikau in the Westlight Harbour, but found that he had passed. He hadn't been seen in a decade, and you had found that the reason for that is most likely because he was quite dead when you went in there, or at least there was a skeleton who you could quite easily assume to be Raikau, sitting quietly in a chair in this kind of somewhat sacked tower, where you found a few odds and ends scrolls to take away with you and use. And Anya, you recruited a half-elf Shao called Grey by assisting her in kind of a little show in the marketplace to scare a kind of corrupt merchant who'd been taking advantage of lesser advantaged people. And upon returning to Mumushi with the people you'd managed to gather, he kind of told you to get a good night's rest, because tomorrow would be, basically later on tomorrow, the ship, the Nymph's Bosom, would be arriving in Westgate, and you would need to be boarding, and, you're not going to enact this coup de grace until you're out in open water, so that the House Vamos, that's kind of supplying this shady slave trade, can't send immediate and like almost endless reinforcements until you're all dead. So you want to wait until you're out in open water, like 1 or 2 days out, and then you can overthrow the ship and free the slaves. So we'll kind of, this next bit I'll say out of continuity, but basically we'll assume you guys find a place to get some sleep for the night, so you guys can restore any spell slots, health, anything like that you've missed, and also I believe you leveled up in between sessions, so keep an eye on anything that you have new that you want to use. And besides from that, either last night, or we'll say probably last night, or maybe in the morning, Mumushi sends some sort of letter or missive to come and find you, however you want to imagine it. Pardon me. Basically what he says is him and the other remnants of the 9 Golden Swords, so Grey and Chuko, they are going to secure a schooner, a small-ish boat from the harbour, and they are going to use that to tail the Nymph's Bosom from like a safe distance, so they can join you as reinforcements if needed once out in open water. And your job for the day is that you guys need to he basically tasks you with neutralizing a notorious slave appraiser called Xavier Morrow. He's been hired by House Vamos to accompany the Nymph's Bosom to its next destination, Marzemba in Cormier. Basically go on the ship, kind of price up the slaves, kind of give them an estimate of how much they're going to be worth, and then when they get to Marzemba, he is going to broker the deal between the slavers and some buyers. Mumushi suggests that for 2 main reasons. This crew has never worked with Xavier before, so they've never met him personally. There's a chance they might have heard things about him, but they've never met him or worked with him personally. But he is from Chicenta. He's from Luthchek. So his suggestion is that Eartha maybe impersonates Xavier Morrow, and Anya and Samura, you guys go on as either new slaves that Xavier is bringing to join the rest, or as personal slaves. But that's just his suggestion. If you guys have a different plan, you can try that. But basically, you have to neutralize Xavier Morrow so he doesn't get on board that ship tomorrow. And if one of you wants to impersonate him, you can. Or if you want to try a different plan, it's all yours. But that's just his basic suggestion. And just to round that off, he tells you that he'll be somewhat well guarded, but he thinks you guys should be able to kind of neutralize him before like early evening when the ship is showing up tonight. He's at a safe house, kind of. I've lost the word. He's kind of temporarily staying in a safe house under guard that's supplied by House Vamos while he's waiting for this ship to show up. And Mumushi will either have told you or sent the location to you, so you guys know where to go the following morning. So, we'll imagine you're at some sort of tavern or something, some sort of inn, and you guys have woken up the next morning. Unless, is there anything you wanted to do in the wee hours of the night beforehand, or anything you wanted to say to each other? Yeah? Jackson?
I would like to convince the other two to walk outside of the town with me.
On the nighttime?
On the nighttime, yeah, before we go to sleep.
Cool. So if you guys just keep all that in mind for like the next day, that night after Mumushi kind of said like, okay, get a good night's rest. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. We all need to be on our A game. Samura's kind of pulled you aside, and Samura, what would you like to say to them? Play it out. I'm going to mute myself while I cough.
If you don't mind, you two, could you come with me?
Where are we going?
Just a little ways outside the town.
When we get told a good night rest, it doesn't mean go for a good night walk.
Well, a good night walk could lead to a good night's rest. Gotta be tired before you sleep. So, come on. Oh, no.
Jackson,
Yeah,
where
sure. I'll follow.
are you taking them? Are you just taking them immediately outside the walls, or do you have somewhere in mind?
I want to get somewhere far enough outside the walls, which doesn't take too long, but no one would be upset if a random tower appeared.
Okay. Maybe like a 20-minute, 30-minute walk.
Yeah, so we just walk for like half an hour out, and then I want to cast Golda's Tower.
Describe it first.
So, Golda's Tower. Let me get the exact description before I get it wrong.
But while Jackson's pulling that up, so you guys spend like 5 minutes. You're at the harbour. Probably like 15 minutes walking through the mostly empty city streets of Westgate. Occasionally here and there's some lights on in second-story windows. People who haven't quite gone to bed yet, and some of the taverns are still quite lively and awake. But eventually, you get to the city gates where a few kind of drowsy guards kind of nod their head, not stopping you from walking out. And a further kind of 20 minutes walking out into the surrounding hinterland, kind of like nice dirt and somewhat cobbled paths that lead out into like this rolling countryside, sparse like islands of trees dotted around. Samura just kind of leads you in a direction he thinks is suitable in this like kind of nice, kind of dark countryside, like where usually would be the light blue of the sky and the rolling green of the hills. There's dark blue, just dark blues from the night sky and the moon.
Yeah, and I go into my central and I pull out a fragment of wood and I cast Golda's Tower. So I conjure a 2-story tower made of stone, wood, or just made of stone wood. It's like a rounded shape, so it's like circular, like a cylinder, like a typical wizard's tower, which is 20 feet tall plus the roof, because it's 10 feet for each floor and it's 2 floors high. An area of 100 square feet. and there is a simple ladder and hatch between the levels. Now there's a bunch of rooms I can pick between, but for the service of today, when we enter, you see on the bottom floor a dining space with a table, chairs, a magical fireplace, some containers and cooking utensils, and upstairs a bedroom for us. So there is a bed, chairs, chest, and another magical fireplace.
Just the what?
I was gonna say, how many beds are we talking?
It says bed, but actually, because of that, I'm going to change the first floor. The first floor instead is a lounge which has couches, armchairs, side tables, and footstools. So you guys can sleep on the couches downstairs, and I'll go take the bed.
Guys, don't worry. You take the couches. I'll take the bed.
And then I'm going to ritually cast alarm on the front door.
Cool. Sorry, it's just I think I missed it. How tall was the tower?
Each floor is 10 feet, and it's only 2 floors high, so it's like 20 feet plus the roof.
Yeah, so like a nice little stout, like country tower. Yeah. So this tower kind of erupts in the countryside, and as Jackson has described, you follow Samurai in, and you see these things. And yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to do, or are you going to sleep?
I'm gonna sleep, I think. I mean, got a big day tomorrow. Stealing a boat. It's probably a good idea to rest.
Yeah, I'll go
Sure.
to bed.
Sure. So we'll say, for the sake of continuity, Mumushi would have passed all that information to you the night before, like probably just before or just after he said, like, get some good rest, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so you wake up the next morning. You know your mission for the day is to go to this House Vamos kind of safe house and neutralize Xavier Morrow, who is a slave appraiser, and Mumushi recommended someone, specifically Eartha, just because of his like heritage, assuming his identity and boarding the nymph's bosom kind of under the radar, or you know, you can do it a different way. That was just his like suggestion, but you guys can discuss that first, or you can. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna ask them what their idea is. I think it's a good one to steal his identity. But I want to know what their take is. Do they want to be my personal slaves, or do they want to be slaves that are brought on to be sold?
I am, if you think about it, I'm not exactly a popular colour around here. Having me as a personal slave would probably be a good show of
Eartha?
power.
Well, actually, that goes right into it. I was just going to say, Eartha, make a intelligence check with advantage because of what Jackson's just spelled out.
Did you say with advantage there?
Yeah.
10.
You think Samurai would like in terms of like because you come from Chicenta and slavery is still happening in places in Chicenta, and it's still kind of common practice for the most part. Something like someone like Samurai, like an Aarakocra, something kind of exotic. Not because they can fly. A lot of slaves that have wings, like an Aarakocra, would usually be like wing clipped, so they couldn't fly. But like just because they're kind of this more exotic, they would kind of like look quite valuable as a slave. So it might look quite impressive to bring like an Aarakocra on board. But there is also other options. Like you guys could use magic, so one of you could like Anya or Samurai, or you could.
Does Jackson have like disguise self, which he used in one of the very first episodes?
Yes, which is what I was about to suggest next. So,
Disguise self is temporary, but you know there are like hats of disguise self, which like you know makes it permanent until the hat's taken off, stuff like that.
That's expensive.
What I was gonna say was, if you the Ioun stone, I could put disguise self into it, and then Eartha, you could make sure you look just like him in case any of them have any queries.
I mean, none of them have met me. Well, him. we're from the same place anyway. Although he's from Czech, I'm a bit further down.
No, you're from Luthchek.
Am I? Oh, I'm thinking of the small place. Doesn't matter. But yeah, from the same.
Yeah,
place.
you were originally from somewhere called Simbar, and then we were about to start the campaign, and we realized it got destroyed 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's. So yeah.
So yeah.
Or I could even give it to you, Anya, and we could disguise you into something a bit more exotic. A reason to be a personal slave again. No offense, just an ordinary looking person from Baldur's Gate isn't exactly rich slave material.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't think I'll be of any use anyway.
I mean, you would know disguise self is obviously quite temporary. So if anyone saw the disguise fade, that would be an issue. And you will be on a ship. So you got tight margins. But you know, if you can find some sort of blind spot.
So probably best not to discuss either of you.
But you know, there is other options. You could, like, you don't necessarily both have to be slaves. Like, Samura could be like a prestige slave, but Anya could go undercover as like one of Xavier's like assistants or like something like that, or like an advisor or a business partner or something like that. You know, like that. They wouldn't be expecting her, so like you might have to do some convincing. But you know, she doesn't necessarily have to go on as a slave. Yeah, like an apprentice, something like that. If you guys want to, like, you can ask me questions as well, and I'll give you feedback and stuff, like the likelihood of stuff. Gonna mute myself again while I call.
We could, and this is complex, but could work. If I summon Abba and give him to you, Ellis, you go into the ship. I then have a way of misty stepping onto the ship. Then we disguise self Anya to look like
20 feet of you, though. Because yes,
no, he has to be within 120 feet of me, and misty step maybe, but I can go into the water.
Misty step's got to be 20 feet, I think.
I think it's 30 feet.
30 or 20 feet, but still.
If this schooner is going to follow the ship, it is going to be like a few miles back. Because think about how easily you can see things on the ocean.
I was thinking, my idea was if we could somehow, if we got Jesson disguised self as me, then you wouldn't have to convince anyone, because she would look like a prestige slave. And then if I could get on the ship later, then when her disguise fell, she could just jump in with the ordinary slaves, and I would just be on the ship still, so they'd just think I was always there.
I mean, I feel pretty confident in bullshit why you two are there.
You don't really need to bullshit me, because I'm just like I'm a slave who's permanently working here.
I'm sure they won't argue with a man of my caliber, or soon to be my caliber, for bringing an assistant to take over the business later on when I'm, you know.
Keep in mind, you won't
retiring.
have plate armor on.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm alright.
Also, you could use Anya's like natural talents. So Anya's a bard, so she might be with Xavier as like entertainment or as someone to like record his deeds, stuff like that.
That could be a good idea, actually. Having oh my god, can we make Xavier like a fucking paranoid prick who kind of is like, write everything down so I can recall, and then no one can lie to me because it's all written down, everything ever said, and that's why Anya's
like
there writing everything down. Yeah. If everything's written down, then he can't mislead in any contracts. He's always able to go back and check what's he's sent to people, and then I can just be a slave.
I mean, that's pretty perfect.
That works well. Now we just need some rope.
I've got rope.
Tie me up.
I mean, we're still outside of town, you know?
Yeah, I know.
We've still got to kill them.
Make a history check.
I love my rolls in this game, you know. That's
How bad is
it? I rolled a 5, but it's 13.
13, okay. It's kind of, this is kind of funny. It's like, you know, very, like, in real life, you know, like, very late in slavery, like the Atlantic slave trade, there was kind of this weird phenomenon of some slaves that had quite a lot of freedom, but they weren't like free people. They liked being slaves under their master, but that's because like almost like brainwashed into it, and they had quite a lot of freedom in their like estate.
A bit of Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. So you think something probably if like Xavier was to have 2 like personal slaves that were you guys, it would probably be more like you guys wouldn't be trying to run away particularly. You'd probably maybe be branded or something like that instead of tied up on a regular basis, and kind of you're more like you've made like it would more like you've probably been with him for such a long time that you wouldn't know how to survive without him, or you've just been kind of brainwashed into being in his service. So you don't get paid or anything, but you get like roof over your head, food, and you like people wouldn't expect you to try and flee that situation. So you might be branded somewhere. You might be like branded in some way, but you would probably be wearing probably not like nice clothes, probably not like dirt poor clothes, probably just something like servants' clothes, something like that. But you would probably be branded in some way, but not like not like servants' rags or like chained up or anything.
If we go get some servant-esque style clothes, I think Anya, your clothes. Oh, yeah, I probably need to change yours too. 100% have to change mine. Then I don't want to get branded, but if when we get this guy, if we get him fast and soon, so we have all day to prepare after seeing him, we can see if he's got any important documents around with a good old symbol of his, and we can get some sorts of clothes quickly stitched with the symbol.
You think you'd also be able to actually make an intelligence check, Samura? Sorry.
I
always forget you guys
rolls.
can't tell who I'm looking at. What did you get?
I rolled a 2, but that's a 10.
A 10, okay.
Oh, well, actually, no, if it's just straight intelligence, it's an 8.
Make an intelligence check. Anya, make an intelligence check.
I forget it's
you
not
guys-
plus 8, because my normal intelligence is...
You guys are having this conversation, so it would make sense that you all have a 9. Anya?
11.
Okay, Anya. So, if and Samura, you guys are kind of thinking about this. Anya, you have the kind of realization you could maybe put the brand somewhere that's not seen, and just if someone asks to see it, use some kind of magical spell to conjure it before you like pull up like your like top or like something like that.
Do we have a kind of
That's my issue.
spell? An illusion spell.
Yeah, and I don't have illusion magic, personally.
Well, the disguise self, you can just make yourself look like you, but with a brand.
Oh, yeah, I guess. It's just... Let's read it. I want to know if it's clear. Weird wording, which is going to be an
It's just one suggestion. You don't have to do it. Just it's a different solution, a magical solution to that.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation,
I think that could work.
which can make a symbol appear.
Yeah. So Anya could prestidigitation. So as long as she has like a minute. So if someone's like, "Well, can I see your brand?" and you're like, "Okay, it's not visible," so you could be like, "Oh, it's on my lower leg," and then she could have a minute, and it's a cantrip, right? So it's infinite. So you can just like summon it and pull up your.
How fast is it to cast? Is it just an action, or...?
I think it might be instant. There should be a thing at the top that says casting time, I think.
Oh, the duration. No, one action, and then duration of
so
1
that's not
hour.
too hard. We just have to make
1
sure
hour.
that...
That's better than I thought.
So I could do it like a little bit, and then.
We just
and
have
then
to
it
make
was-
sure that we have to
So
make sure
Anya
that
can cast it in about 5 or 6 seconds, and then it'll last for an hour. So
Just-
pretty decent.
And then if I'm the apprentice, I would be by like Eartha's side as Xavier, so it wouldn't take like I'm within range. So
I would also say actually Anya and Eartha, what are your pluses to survival?
I'm just too dumb.
What was yours, Anya?
1.
1. Okay. Eartha?
8.
8.
Jesus,
okay.
I've got what's it called, proficiency in it.
The
And
cleric.
it's +5 plus my proficiency, so 8.
You guys were talking about, or like Jackson, you were saying you could embroider like a personal insignia into some clothing. Eartha is probably quite proficient at like that kind of thing. You know, being on the road a lot, kind of, you know, having to patch up some of his clothes when they get torn. Kind of being in a martial kind of role, kind of like sewing up wounds, kind of like, you know, putting that kind of fixer in, but also like when swords kind of nick shirts and stuff like that, kind of fixing up. So, you know, Eartha's not like he's not like an embroiderer. He doesn't do it for like finery, but he could make like some kind of performance or like some kind of sleight of hand survival skill check to like try and embroider a nice symbol using the skills he knows from like battlefield applications of the skill.
Yeah. I think Jess's... The likelihood of somebody asking to see our mark, it's not... Like, it's gonna happen like once. The other thing.
Sure.
I think we just go with like the prodigious station or whatever it's called one.
Prestidigitation.
A minor illusion.
So let's go into town.
Anyone will ask to see it because I think they might be too intimidated by this Xavier guy. If he's the one in charge.
I'll give you this. Probably the only time someone might go like, "Where's your brand?" might be if you get caught without Xavier somewhere on the ship you shouldn't be. Something like that, like provoking investigation.
So yeah, let's go with that. Plan, head into town, knack this guy real and fast and quick. Get some servants' clothes.
Let me ask this: we're definitely killing the guy, right? We're not keeping him prisoner somewhere.
I mean, your name
No,
is
definitely killing him because
I was just double checking.
bad guys, not say he won't do it again.
I'm just double checking to make sure I wasn't just gonna go in, slit the guy's throat, and then you guys are being like, "Well, we wanted to keep him alive for
Everyone's like,
to be fair, we could tie him to the chair, put a piece of metal on him, or like a couple of pieces of metal on him, and I can cast the cantrip Shocking Grasp multiple times to like torture him to death while getting information out of him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we tried this with the last slave, and I ended up just stabbing him in the throat by mistake.
Well, yeah, you're not the
by
best at
mistake.
stabbing people who are your friend. Yeah.
I got in the house, didn't I? I got the information I needed to, didn't I? Yeah.
I remember at the beginning of the campaign, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have consequences," because like none of these characters have actually killed someone before. So like the first time they kill people, I'm gonna really go into it, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And by the 3rd episode, you killed like 25 people, and I was like, "It doesn't matter, it's fine."
They're all
It's
bad
whatever.
people.
I love how my character was supposed to be like totally against it, and I feel like I'm like
You fucking nailed that guy in the
I'm
first
just
episode.
really like
on the show.
I'm pretty sure it says like
there's this prep school girl and she's kind of fucking crazy and she's just killing people.
it literally says on one of my claws, I assume the best of others even when I shouldn't. I've been so skeptical
No one's
of
having
every
it.
single freaking person that we've met. So I don't think I've met my own character's standards really, but
I'm looking forward to the episode where you guys all go to therapy. That'll be fun.
I'm gonna need it by the end of this.
Okay, so I'm imagining, has this kind of conversation just been happening in the lounge area of the tower?
Yeah.
Sure. So what would you guys like to do? Do you have anything more to discuss?
Don't think so.
I think it's time to move.
If there is,
Cool.
we could just talk on the way, can't we?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we're
You got
probably
about probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of foot time. So yeah, the location is for kind of just a nice adjacent residential district of the city. Do you guys have anything you would like to do? You know, you walk back through that nice countryside, blah 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 blah. Does the tower disappear when you leave it, Jackson?
I believe it disappears after 24 hours.
Cool.
But if you take anything out of it, I believe it also disintegrates. I'll quickly give you a quick. Interior of the tower is warm and dry, regardless of any equipment or finishing conjured in the tower dissipates with the smoke when removed. At the end of the spell's duration, the tower disappears, basically.
And it
Yeah, so you
lasts
got
for 24 hours.
24 hours.
So, yeah. So there's, I mean, it's probably kind of tucked behind an island of trees, so you can't really make it out from the city too much. So it's not like, it's not an issue or anything. You don't think it's going to be an issue. But yeah, you walk back through this little patch of countryside back to the city gates, where you very quickly make your way back into the city streets. Is there anything you'd like to do before heading towards your destination? Anywhere you want to go?
For me, just straight there.
I want to go
Sure.
say thank you to the two people we were with. Names?
Ray.
Leonor, is it?
Grey
No, not those two. The
Hilari and Lelianor.
That's the ones. I want to go say thank you because obviously we're leaving again.
Sure. I mean, Aurora's Emporium is like pretty much like 2 minutes from the gate, so you very quickly start walking past it. You see an open sign turned facing out.
I shall go in.
Are you guys going in, or is it just Eartha?
I'll go in.
Go in.
Sure. Just so you remember, you guys can choose to do whatever you want with this. Like, you could ask her to just like sell it or whatever, but she did stable Anya's horse.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about just there. I was like, what are they going to do about the horse?
Yeah. So you can just be like, that's yours now. You can sell it if you want. If you don't want to deal with it, that's totally fine. Otherwise, yeah, because you probably don't want to take it with you on the
I
ship.
was going to say, what about Black Beauty?
She
So-
died.
No, my
Like,
horse,
ding-a-ling.
Sea Salt died.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like a little bell rings as you open the door and you guys jaunt in, and Lelianor kind of slouching at the desk, kind of perks up as she sees you guys come in and gives you like a spry wave.
You alright?
What can I? Yeah, great. How are you guys? It's been a minute.
Yeah, come to say thank you for hospitality and looking after us and all that. And,
Of course.
Goodbye for now, because we're going on our way, I'm afraid.
Sure.
We're given a job, so we're gonna go do that. Can't spill the details, so you know.
Oh, totally. I get it. Hilari isn't here, but I'll pass it on. Yeah, I mean, it was nice to meet you guys. You're always welcome. If you ever find yourself, I don't usually put this out, but you guys have helped me with stuff. If you ever find yourself in one of the bigger cities where I have some other outlets, you can feel free to use my circles. Just let me know and I'll sort it out. I have stuff in Waterdeep. We're opening an outlet in Baldur's Gate, but it's not open yet. Westgate, that's pretty much it. But, that's still pretty big distances if you ever need it.
And I like perk up at this point here and like, you can use my magic stuff, and I'll be like, thank you.
Of course, Samara. Thank you guys for helping get the circles back online. I would have been really buggered without it, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope I see you guys soon.
Before we continue with the conversation, can we say that we talked to these two on the way here about the horse? Because I don't know what to do with the horse, and it's not my
Sure,
horse
yeah.
to look
We'll
after.
freeze in time and we'll rewind to on the way here. So Anya,
it's your horse.
it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I just like
If I
the
could
horse.
ask them to look after the horse temporarily until
You could, to be fair, you could offer her full ownership of the horse to do whatever she wants with it. And then if you ever eventually come back, just that you would like it back.
Mhm.
Or you could just you could do that. You could just give her because she's not personally taking care of it. She's just taking it to a stable, and she's footed a bill. So you could just be like, "Here's 50 gold. Could you just give that to the stable master, and I'll come back at some point, maybe." You can do whatever you like. Really, I'm not gonna chase you
I'll
guys
do.
up about this horse.
I think that's what I'll do.
Sure.
Keep the horse in a stable. And I could always just ask her to teleport to wherever I am and drop my
You guys
horse
did bring some horses through.
Mhm.
But I think the horse is slightly too large, so
Yeah.
a spellcaster needs to reduce it.
Mhm.
But that's that's pretty doable. You could just call in a few favors, like
Mhm.
on a Sunday, and get that sorted out. So it's fine. Yeah. So we'll say like, do you want to just dump 50 gold pieces, and that'll take care of the horse for a while?
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, Lelian will kind of take the pouch, and she's like, yeah, sure, I'll pass that on to the stable master, and whenever you guys get a chance, you can pick her up. Yeah, is there anything else you guys need or want or
Let me
anything
double check.
before you head off?
Check. I think I've got everything I need. I'm gonna double check my what I've actually got, what I don't.
Sure. You'll also, this is just in general, all of your like Anya and Samura's normal clothes and normal items probably want to put in the bag of holding, because Samura isn't going to be allowed to walk around with the staff of thunder and lightning and
Yeah.
all that. And obviously, like Samura said, Xavier probably wouldn't wear heavy armor. You could probably keep Flame Tongue on you, just as because he'd probably have like a sword just for like safety. But he'd probably be wearing clothes for the most part.
I mean, I'm still gonna go kill him first. So I wouldn't put anything in here yet.
No,
Yeah,
just need
yeah.
to buy our outfits anyway, so if I put my clothes in there now, I will be naked.
When did I buy 1,000 ball bearings?
You tried to give me them for the fucking stone giant fight.
Did I?
Yes.
I don't remember that at all.
Check the tape.
Being like, does it do more damage than rocks? And Brad was like, no, you dumbass.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
because you had a
damn.
slingshot, didn't you? So I was like, yeah, if you slingshot on rock, surely metal would hurt more if you start slingshotting like metal at people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
rocks are sharp, where they were just balls.
Bullets are balls that are made of metal. You know,
Yeah,
see people
the main
shooting rocks out
difference
of a
was
gun.
probably piercing and bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Uh,
A stone giant bludgeoning isn't the best.
I got drugs still. I forgot about that.
Oh, I used mine immediately, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
remember
couldn't
which one
resist shooting up.
Which one's
Became a
that?
crack addict.
We got the waterproof candle. I forgot about as well.
Candle of the Deep.
And then we just got my armory that's ever growing.
Oh, actually, that could be a sick idea. If we're on that boat and you give me that, and I just like get off the boat into the water, I just like hang on the bottom of the boat or something like that.
It could be good for like a subtle signal, like
Yeah.
whenever something should happen, like light the candle underwater, like you guys look off the ship, keep an eye on it, something like that.
Have my baton as well, which can dominate person.
Yeah, like the composer's, the new
mean,
composer's
I
baton
reckon
thing.
you could kind of hide that in amongst your clothes. Just stick.
Yeah, I would. You guys could like, she could pretty easily conceal that like down the side of her boot. I'll say like you could all pretty easily keep something on. Obviously, Samurai, you don't really need to conceal stuff because you have magic.
Yeah.
But
I need
it's
a
just
book.
like,
I need to conceal the book.
yeah, I'd say
Because I can only cast cantrips without my book.
it might make sense.
If
Do you
if
have
I
to
had the
attune
book.
to your book?
I don't have to attune to it, but as a wizard, you like rules wise, you can cast your cantrips without your book, but the rest of them, because you don't have an innate relationship with magic, you have to have your notes there to do it properly.
I would say it wouldn't look suspicious for Anya to have it if she's going to be that journaler, biographer kind of thing. So if push came to shove, Anya could just throw it to you. Like instead of having to go in the bag of holding, she could just like lob it to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Anya is going to be like this biographer, Samura should probably have some kind of role, like other than being like a prestige kind of thing to own, just something like a reason why you have him. If Anya's like a biographer, Samura should have like some kind of thing he does for you.
Oh my god! Imagine if
Can't
I
be
walked
boyfriend.
behind you with my wings, like airing you off with my wings,
That's kind of
like a fan.
Well, no, because you'd be clipped, wouldn't you?
And then in my hand I have food. I have like a
Oh,
bowl
yeah.
of grapes, and I do
could
both
say
at
he's
once.
Like, I could say he's like very handy with being like a bodyguard, even though he doesn't look it, kind of a thing. 'Cause obviously,
Yeah, I don't look it.
I know, but Aarakocras are generally like fighters and stuff, aren't they? Not wizards.
Yeah, typically, but like at the same
Oh,
time,
yeah.
I feel like
Kind
the
of.
wings and bowl of food idea is funnier. So
You need something that's more believable.
I don't know if
that
that's
is-
true.
So, if you're using your wings a lot, it's going to give away that you're not clipped, and that might make some people kind of suspicious.
Yeah. We could clip me.
Good clip you.
I mean, I would. This is just like, you don't have to do this. I believe lesser restoration fixes broken bones.
Yeah, the clipped is like taken clean off, right?
No.
No,
Like
it's just
clipping
cut
is like cutting them so they can't use them. I would allow a lesser restoration to fix that.
Do I have
Unless
lesser
you
restoration?
have lesser restoration.
Obviously, it would be fucking painful if they clipped your wings. So you might not love the idea. But
Yeah.
if push came to shove and you wanted to do that, I would
Also,
allow a lesser
My
restoration.
movement is restricted to 25 feet because that is my walking speed.
Also,
Sure.
I do not have lesser restoration.
It's a
I
level
think
2
Jess
spell.
might?
You could just get it.
Oh yeah, and clerics can just switch.
Yes,
up.
I do. I do.
Yeah, but Jess has it.
right.
I was gonna say,
Okay,
Jackson,
so we're
I
cutting my
have-
wings.
I have Prayer of Healing, Remove Curse, Revivify, and then I have Mass Healing Word. That's it.
Like, remove curse is not something you need to have
No, it's
every day.
It's just what's in my hand at the moment. Because
Oh,
obviously
okay.
we were going to use it a while ago, and then I just never needed to use it.
Right, so... Let's clip my wings.
Are you sure?
Uh,
Do you not want to
I'll-
wait till after we fight the dude before we clip your wings?
yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Fucking pin me down and clip my wing.
I mean, could you not just pretend like your wings are clipped?
There'd be a visible cutting of the wings. You can't just
Basically,
pretend.
it's like the wings are like cut. Like, so if you clip a bird's wings, you get scissors and you cut their wings so they fly, like they can't fly.
Can we not like illusion it on or something to make it look as if they're
But we don't have anything which lasts long enough. Where if you just actually clip them, I don't need to fly. I actually don't need my flight. I'll be alright. I've got a bit of a plan.
Hope you okay.
Yeah, I mean, on a ship, 25 walking speed isn't going to be the end of the world because it's a ship. It's a pretty small
Yeah.
space. Yeah.
So just clip my wings when we get there.
Alright.
Yeah, right, cool. That'll be sorted. Also, I totally forgot to level up Jade, but I've just quickly done it, so that's nice.
Nice. Nice. I didn't think it would take. I didn't think it would be easy. I thought it would be like, oh fuck, gotta
I was gonna say Jade's
I
gonna
just-
be like heightened muscle. Well, not heightened muscle, but just straight up muscle.
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't thinking about Jade. Jade.
Be your bodyguard.
Yeah, she is general bodyguard.
Oh.
However, you'll have to like relinquish command to me for a bit.
That's right.
I'm not sure if you can.
Well, no, I mean you can tell her to like follow my instructions. for a
I
bit.
can command her from my head, so
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm like, I think like if Eartha gave her a command, she'd like look to Samura to be like, should I actually? Or like, I don't know if
I
you
mean-
can just command them to follow someone else's commands. I'm not sure how exactly.
we've done it before. Like I sent her
I wanna
word Jess the
check the
other day,
word.
didn't I?
Yeah, fuck it, for convenience. Yeah, I'm just gonna say yeah, it's fine.
As a normal sidekick would be able to. So obviously I know Jade's a bit different. But
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about like the actual wording of the stat block, like the animated armor stat block. but-
yeah.
Just because it would be really finicky otherwise. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So yeah, you'll like relinquish command to Eartha at the point you need to. You might have to do some sweet talking as to they were expecting Xavier and now they're getting fucking 4 people on board.
I got a plan for that. We tell
Okay,
them. We
you can
tell
keep
them.
it. Okay.
I mean, I might as well say with the group just to see what they say. We tell them we're attacked on the way here. So then that way, if they find like the bodies of the people we killed, they're like, oh, their story adds up. Because we told them we killed some people on the way here. Or like the night before or something.
Sure, you can try it.
I could disintegrate the Tricentan bloke's body so that they can see a skeleton but not actual Tricentan flesh.
we could just put him in the bag of holding and then dump him off overboard. Yep.
Jess, you say something?
Confused as to what the game plan is.
Oh no, the game plan's perfectly fine. The game plan hasn't changed. It's the same thing. So we need to go kill the guy.
Mhm.
Then you'll be the accountant assistant person who writes down everything to make sure nothing gets messed up. Jackson's going to be a slave, but we're going to have to clip his wings.
Right.
Jade's going to be commanded by me and become hired muscle. And if they ask why I've got like hired muscle and all you have a reason because obviously I need to write everything down. Jackson's exotic and looks pretty cool to have about, and he's quite handy with making cuppas and that. And then Jade's there because we got attacked in the morning, such as the bodies we're about to leave behind.
Okay.
And I'll melt the Chisentan man's body so that they can see a skeleton.
But we could just put him in the bag of hold'em and dump him overboard at one random point.
Yeah, but what's the point when I could just melt his body?
Save the spell slot.
I've cantrips, mate. Cantrips.
Oh, I didn't realise I was a cantrip.
Well, I don't have to melt it with acid. I can melt it with fire.
So
Cantrips, mate. Cantrips. I want that on the shit. Cantrips, mate. Cantrips. Don't worry about it. Don't even fucking worry about cantrips.
Do you have a cantrip?
Control flames. You just grab any flame and just push it into his face.
Fair enough.
Do you guys have anything else you want to say or do with Lelianor before you guys head off? By the way, or are we assuming you guys have headed out?
I'd just be like, give her a hug and be like, see you later, mate. But in an awkward way.
Yeah. 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 She's like, yeah, come back soon, and magic me if you need anything. She kind of waves you out as you guys trot out the door. Yeah. So, is there anything you'd like to do / talk about before you arrive at kind of a little bit away, kind of parked up from the residence, so you can kind of plan, like you can plan based on what you're seeing, or are you guys ready for that?
What do we see?
So, you kind of find this area of the city, not like aristocratic by any means, but a more gated residential community. So this address that Mumushi had given to you, it is a one-story kind of villa with a fenced garden around it, and this is quite a big space. Like the garden is probably like maybe 100 by 50 feet, and the villa is within that garden space, and still quite a sizable villa, but only one floor. And you can see there is only one entrance. You guys do like a bit of a walk around. There is only one entrance through the gate. The fence is like an raw iron fence. It's about 10 feet tall. And there is only one gate, which is currently open, but has a guard on either side, standing on the outside of the gate. And make a perception check, everyone.
Right. Oh, for God's sake, am I using sight?
Yes.
It's 10.
Anya?
4.
4, and Eartha?
32.
32. So Anya and Samura, you guys are kind of struggling to see through a lot of these bars, because it's not just straight iron, it's like kind of patterns in the raw iron. But Eartha, you manage to glimpse. You do see not a lot. You think it definitely one, maybe 2 or 3 guards walking in a circle around, like in the gardens around the exterior, but inside the fence. So in between the fence and the house, you do see some guards patrolling the outdoor area. And Eartha, also, you make out 2 entrances to the building. You make out a double front door, which is straight on from the main gate entrance. And you do see a single side door, kind of to the left side of the house. Probably like some sort of servant's kitchen door, something like that.
Is the garden got like bushy bits and stuff like that?
Not really. There are kind of bits of topiary, kind of like spiraling, like short trees and stuff, but not like hedges. It's kind of it's pretty much a 10-foot bit of grass that circles the entire exterior and then the fence, if that makes sense, with bits of like topiary and stuff.
I would like to cast Find Familiar, obviously somewhere where no one can see me, ritually. So,
Okay.
that takes me over an hour.
Okay.
Yep, takes a little while, but
Could you
we
not
should
have
still
done
have time,
this- could you not
don't
have
we?
done this like in the morning or something?
Well, I could have. Yeah, we could say that, but I didn't think
I'll
of
allow
it. Then.
I'll
Okay,
allow
I'm
it.
fine.
I'll say you did it back at the tower.
I'll use my usual spider, if you don't mind.
Cool. Sure.
And I'm gonna send the spider in the servant's door and try and maneuver him so he doesn't get stood on.
Sure. So the spider kind of climbs over the bit of stone and under the raw iron, through into the gardens, crawls along the left side of the house. You manage to pretty much pin down. There are 2 guards, kind of just evenly marching around the exterior. Just 2 guards, kind of patrolling the outside. The servant's door is closed, but being so small, you manage to squeeze underneath the door, and that door does lead into a kitchen.
Right.
And there
what can I
is
see in the
one
kitchen?
other, quite an empty kitchen. This doesn't look like a house. This looks like a safe house. This person is living here for like a week or like maybe less before they move on to the next bit. So it's not super well stocked, but it's like a fairly nice, pretty big kitchen. Looks like it could accommodate like a good party or something, but it's not being used for that currently. So a pretty big kitchen, not super well stocked, but kept clean enough. Not dirty, but a bit dusty, and kind of remnants of plates and flagons and stuff like that haven't been cleaned. Most likely from like Xavier and the guards and whoever else just kind of staying here for a bit of time. And you see one door that leads out of this that isn't the servant's door to the outside.
I'll push him through there.
Cool. So you go through into the next place, and this appears to be like quite a long dining room with a long dining table and chairs. Not really any decoration on the walls or anything. Again, quite like this just looks like a generic space for someone to stay in for a short period of time. 2 doors, the one that you came through on the north wall, and further along, still on the north wall, another door.
Right.
And sorry, there is one person in here. They are dressed in similar attire to the 4 people you've seen outside. So you assume this is a guard. They appear to be wearing kind of the colors of House Vamos. So these don't appear to be Xavier's personal guards. They are like House Vamos Lent guards.
Right, I'll check the closest door first and like keep exploring the house.
Cool. You go through the next door, and you're in some kind of gallery. This does have some decoration, kind of some generic paintings, and you see another guard in here, again in House Vamos colours. And this is kind of an upside-down L-shaped room, with you coming through the bottom and kind of curling, where there is another door, assuming you go through. You kind of go through into the next space. So behind you, there are 2 doors next to each other. One you came through, and another one going somewhere else. Straight down this long hallway, you see the 2 front doors with like light coming through from the outside. So kind of just opposite where the 2 guards had been standing. And further down, like not quite as far as the 2 front doors, but along the left wall, you see another single door. So there are 2 doors you haven't been through, not including the door you came through and the front doors.
Right, okay. This is getting a lot of doors, right? The door next to the one I entered this room from.
Yeah. You crawl. This one is slightly ajar, so you don't have to crawl under. You kind of crawl along the wall. This is kind of it's definitely a bedroom. Not really much decoration. Again, it's, not anyone. But the bed hasn't been properly made. It's kind of all spread out. Then you do see some bags and stuff like that, and you see like a journal sitting on the side. And you see a book and a journal kind of sitting on the side table, and kind of what looks to be like 1 or 2 kind of satchels next to the bed table.
Read the journal.
You can't. You're a spider.
Okay. But I'm looking for Samara's eyes. Can Samara not like read it through the spider's eyes?
Closed.
Oh, okay, never mind. Can I read? Is there like a title on the top saying whose journal it is?
I'm telling you it's a journal, but like, it's not like named or anything. It's just it looks like a journal.
Right. I'll go through the secondary door then. The other one in that passage.
Along the left here. You go into here. In here, you see. So you come through one door. You see in the center, who you assume to be Xavier, wearing kind of fairly nice clothes, kind of like a suit for the most part, but with like a big dress shirt with kind of flowery cuffs and no jacket, just kind of the pants, the shirt, and the shoes. He does look similar-ish to Eartha, but instead of having a beard, he has a goatee, and his hair is quite slicked back. There is another door in the top corner of the room, and there are also 2 guards in here. This is a kind of a lounge room. There's like sofas and tables and stuff.
Yes, there's definitely stuff to barricade a door in this room, isn't there?
Theoretically, yeah. There's kind of like cabinets and sofas and stuff like that.
Then next, is there a window in this room?
All of these rooms you've been in have had windows, including this one. They all appear to be closed at the minute, but
now I'll go through that next room to see what's in there.
This last room appears to just be a fairly small storage space, quite dusty and dirty, just kind of odds and ends stuffed in here.
Right, so I'll tell everyone else all of this. I'll tell like the other 2 will listen, and I'll go. It seems like if you could sleep amulet the one of the guards on the corner before the front door, slam the front door, get rid of the first guard, into the room, barricade the door behind us so that the other 2 guards out of the room can't get in, then it's a simple 3v3 fight.
But then what about the 4 guards on the outside, the 2 at the gate and the 2 going around the building?
Well, that's the part I don't have an answer to. But if you can get through that front door, you can sleep the first man and block us in 3-on-3.
I mean, I could quite easily deal. We could do sleep to the first 2 guards at the gate.
So just quickly, I should have given you this information. I just forgot. Just because it's, it makes sense. Each of the guards appear to have a spear. They're all equipped with spears and like chainmail, kind of under some somewhat nice clothes. And Xavier has a longsword. He also he has a longsword on his left hand side and a short sword on his right. But you imagine the longsword is probably his main weapon.
Maybe we could. I mean, the choices are brute force it, or if you sleep the first 2 outside, the house. We're gonna get caught entering the building by one of the 2 guards patrolling. Then it's.
I mean, I can command. Let me see. I can cast command on 3 people at once. If it works, that's a different thing. But I can command all of them to kneel. Within that.
Can you command them to sleep?
That seems to work to me, Alice.
Probably. I think I can actually. I just wanted kneel for the other guy, but command sleep. Where's command? You speak a word command to a creature you see within range. Target must succeed a wisdom saving throw. So the target is undead if it doesn't understand your language, or if the command died. Yeah, you could sleep.
Yeah, I'm just looking up to see if what other people are saying about it.
I mean, sleep is like actually a pretty good word that I never thought of, because I like to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, rules designer Jeremy Crawford unofficially go to sleep. The suggestion spell allows you to compel someone to pursue a course of activity. You could, for example, tell them to go to sleep. That doesn't knock them out. It causes them to try to go to sleep naturally. It isn't a magical slumber. Also, there's no guarantee that they can actually sleep. But I don't know. You could like tell them to go to sleep, and then it gives you a minute, or you could tell them to kneel or something. You can try and knock them out or something. I don't know.
I mean,
whatever you.
Tell them to kneel, and then that way they're open to
Sure.
easy attacks. I mean, even if I say
yeah.
freeze, that means they have to stand still. Because I'm not
also
directly harming them, but I'm going to indirectly stab them in the throat. Well, I'm not going to be indirect, but fuck it.
Always be quite direct.
Yeah, I hope so. Anyway.
Yeah, I think this is going to be bloody. Let's make that very clear. This isn't going to be a fight we can sneak through. There is 4 guards on the outside, and that is already too many people to sneak past.
Josh, what
Well,
kind
you
of
know,
word-
you could the fence is like the tops of the fence do have like little spikes, but you know there are breaks in the fence with like a flat flagstone. You could try and scale the fence as well.
I mean, we
Unless we go through the side door and we command the one guy patrolling around the side at the time, to ignore us.
we could knock the first 2 out. Jackson disguise self as one of the guards, walk in to distract one of them, whilst we take him out, and do the same with the next bit.
What happens if I disguise self as a city guard?
I don't think that would work.
Would they let me come in
No.
to talk?
Probably not.
Uh,
Do you want to just full send it, knock the first 2 out, and then just...
Why don't we just command the first 2 to run? Or leave.
No, because then if they leave, they could easily just go tell someone straight away.
And also, I think they'd come back in like 6 seconds, right?
I think it's...
Is it just 1 turn they do it for? How long does it last?
Cast time, 1 action, duration, instantaneous. That's a different spell altogether. I was gonna say, why would it be range touch? That can't be right.
Yeah.
Range 60 foot, duration 1 round, so it's like 6 seconds.
Yeah, so they would just fulfill the action and then return to what they were doing. So I think what you're saying about like kneel or freeze or sleep or like sit or something like that, just to make themselves vulnerable so you could kill them or knock them out, that makes sense.
Go on, Jess.
Sleep spell, which means I could do multiple people. It lasts up to a minute, and it can affect the number of hit points.
So what we
Sleep's a bit of a bitch. It's a kind of a confusing one at first. It's so
So
basically
you,
you roll that
are you
dice.
not wanting to kill them? Are you just wanting to?
Oh no, I'm full sending. If
I think we
Wait,
have to kill
we
them.
kind of have to.
Mhm.
Because then they'll tell people and then we can't fake being the guy.
Yeah.
But if you can sleep the first 2, Alice could sleep the other 2.
Uh-huh.
Then there'd be no one on the outside.
The thing is with the second 2 is they're
Let's split up.
doing a rotation, so they're pretty much they're generally about 100 feet away from each other
Ooh.
because they're
if
circling the outside separately.
we sleep the first 2, I'd disguise self, run to the one who's going to turn the corner towards the 2 dead bodies, and kind of turn him around and be like, disguise myself as one of the first 2, by the way. Go to him, walk that way with Eartha behind me, kind of thing. Want to turn him around, we could sleep the next 2, maybe.
Could work.
And I think it's the best we've got. Should we just do it?
Yep, screw up. So Jess, do you want to use that, or should I
So-
use the necklace?
As a reference, Brad, obviously, if this is the front where the guys were sleeping is,
Mm-hmm.
I want to wait until like the guy goes here and then turns away when we sleep them, because then the other guy will be way back here, only just beginning to walk towards.
I don't know whether this helps, but my range is 90 feet. I know you said 100 feet between them.
Yeah, as long as you could like distract the other one for a hot second to get them to stand still, then it would work. It's just in general they're going to be pretty far apart.
Yeah.
Basically, when you sleep the 2 guards at the front, you've kind of been watching their schedule now for a bit. So I'll give you this: to like do it at the optimal time, like when the one is going away, like curling around the side of the building, so he has no chance of seeing. The other guard is 50 feet away from coming around the side. So you probably have to sleep the 2 at the front. You probably have like, I'll say like a minute before that other guard comes around. And then you
Okay.
probably have like 5 minutes before the second one comes around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, there are windows into the house that people might see you through.
Yeah. And is the windows for the main guy, is that on the front of the house?
Yeah.
So yeah, he might literally see us sleep them, and then that's it. We're kind of fucked.
I have the paralyzo crossbow bolts from
The drow ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I got an idea then. Why don't you sneak attack? I know obviously you don't have sneak attack, but I mean like sneakily. We go around the side to the side entrance, and you just, as he turns the corner, just pop him with like a poison bolt.
Mhm.
Then quickly rip it out of him. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, we're going. That's it. It started then. But then we just rip it out, so when the other guy comes around, he doesn't know what's happened exactly. Hopefully. And we just get in the house. And the guards will most likely find out and coming after us, but we'll fight them when we'll fight them. At least we're in the house dealing with the main problem first.
Also, you guys can, you don't have to stay together as one unit. You guys can kind of split off to different parts of the house and, try and like Samura could fly up onto the roof and like be ready to do something up there while like Eartha goes to the front and Anya goes to the side. I don't know. Just like, if you guys want to split up, you can as well. Not that I'm saying that's better or anything.
Could they see me fly onto the roof?
I think if you went up high enough, you would be indistinguishable from a bird.
Oh, yeah. I'll zoom up and get onto the roof. I'll go like 100 feet in the sky, and then I'll go down onto the roof.
Yeah, you would still make like a stealth check with advantage to make sure like no one just happens to see you. But like,
yeah,
I would still think you've still got a pretty good chance.
Before we do anything, I think I should do that, because then no matter what, I can get to any guard rather quickly.
I'm happy with that.
Right,
Don't forget,
I'll
you
just
guys
do
have
that.
the sending stones, so you can contact without wasting a sending.
Yeah, I've got message, so I can just shoot messages at for Anya as well. Right, I'll do that now.
Right.
Sure. So Samura kind of backs up into the city so he can get some distance, so they don't see him flying up. But we'll say that. So you go off you leave Jade with Anya and Eartha. You go off a distance. You fly. You make your way up into the sky, and you start making your way back to the location. Make a stealth check with advantage to descend on the safe house without being seen.
Right, Jess, how do you want to take these first two guards?
12
wanna sleep
plus
or
4 is
just-
16.
With a 16, you kind of seeing the most opportune time kind of in this rotation of guards when they're turning specific corners, you like dive and in the last moment kind of catch yourself and slowly as your talons hit the roof tiles and now you're on top of the roof. If you go to the edges, you might have to make another stealth check, but for now you're hidden.
Yeah, I'm presuming from the middle, I can still see Eartha and Anya.
Yeah, since you know where they were, you can see them kind of on the opposite side of the street.
I'll just watch what they do.
I'm not really good at keeping track of how I'm going to do this in terms of time. Where did that other one go?
It's alright. If you want to lay out your plan, I can try and we can try and help you work it out.
So my plan is sounds really silly.
That's kind.
So I could use prestidigitation to kind of distract one of the guards. Oh no, you said that they move every minute or so, didn't you?
Not the first two. The first
the two. So there's
gate.
two. Yeah. There's two
I was
standing
thinking
at the
that
gate,
I could,
and there's two rotating inside.
Right. Oh, because I was thinking I could
Here, let me show you this.
Because I was
It might be
thinking.
difficult to see. So there are two guards standing in front of this gate. Okay.
Right.
And there are these two and these out. So this one walks that way, and then that way, and then that way, and this one walks that way, and then that way, and that way.
So where's Eartha coming out from, and where will I be coming out from? Just.
Will be. Do you know where the
Wherever
two
you want.
guards at the bottom were?
I'm gonna get my spider and bring it to the first two guards.
Sure, we'll say while this has been happening, your spider's crawled throughout the rest of the house, come out under the front door.
And I'm gonna shoot a message at Eartha. And I'm just gonna say, there's no other way. We're just gonna have to do it. Wait for the signal. And I'm gonna make the spider crawl up the back of one of them. Try and do it lightly so he doesn't notice. And kind of try and get it into his ear.
Okay, with disadvantage.
Yeah. Like onto his shoulder, then into his ear, and like if at that point he gets spotted no matter what, that's fine. Let's roll this. Yeah, that's a 6.
Maybe it's just a spider. I'm assuming they just slap it or squish it.
Yeah, it'll be something like that, but you'll know that's a 6 and then that 20, so I'm pissed off. Let's see.
I think spiders will probably have a good plus to stealth.
It's a +4, so that's 10.
10. Yeah, so Abba in this spider form kind of crawls up. Does it still look like Abba? Like, is it yellow?
I was using it for stealth, so it would probably be more like black and like an ordinary spider looking.
Fair enough. Yeah, crawls at the back, kind of starts crawling up the neck. God's like, ah, fuck. And the other one looks at him, he's like, fucking spider. When are we gonna go inside? Disgusting out here. I hate Westgate. Abba's gone.
See, does Earth and Anya notice is the question.
I'm assuming I noticed the slab.
You see a bit of a... For the most part, they've just kind of been sitting on their spears, like, pretty lazily looking around, and then you see a... You just see, like, some kind of little
I'm going to assume that was the signal, and I'm going to go sleep using the necklace. On
Okay.
the 2 guards at the front. Oh.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to say there is 1 minute before the next guard on rotation will turn around the corner. So you have 1 minute.
Right. What does a sleep spell do? I need to figure that out.
Let me quickly get it for you.
Please do.
This is going to take a hot second, so like we don't need a pause. I'm just going to run to the toilet.
Right. Okay. What does a sleep spell do, buddy?
So, the spell sends creatures into magical slumber. Roll 5d8. Basically, that is the total of as many hit points.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully, you roll more hit points than they both have in total.
Well, if in doubt.
So you're
That's
getting the
usually the
ones
way.
at the very front.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna
walking around.
try and disguise
I
self.
have a new spell called Dimension Door, which means I'll be able to get to places a lot quicker and probably easier.
Read out the description.
It says you teleport yourself from your current location to any other spot within range. You arrive at exactly the spot desired. It can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating distance and direction, such as 200 feet straight downward or upward to the north. Yeah, whatever. You can bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed what you can carry. You can also bring one willing creature of your size or smaller who is carrying gear up to its carrying capacity. The creature must be within 5 feet of you when you cast this spell.
Okay, so
If-
we slept them first 2 guards. I got an idea then.
Well,
I
you
don't think
need
you guys.
How much hit points did you do?
Oh
you don't
yeah,
just sleep them.
I forgot about that.
So the first 3, I rolled 5. I was like, right, okay, it's going interesting. Then I got a 7 and an 8, so I've got 30 in total.
13 total.
30.
30 total.
13.
Okay.
It's 5d8. Not split between them, but through one and on to the next.
Cool.
Even if it only sleeps 1, that's probably a good enough distraction. A dimension door to the side of the house the guards just went round.
Are you like?
Then you can
Are you
sneak
doing anything?
around.
Like, are you like? How close do you have to be?
I think it's
90 feet, just said, I believe. Yeah, 90 feet is the range.
So this is going to be a thing. If you do it from 90 feet away, a bit of your minute is going to be used getting to them. So are you like walking up first and then sleeping them in front of them, or what are you doing?
I'm going to be walking and trying to sneakily do it next to them. We're not like.
So
right
you're
next
like
to them,
pretending to be a passerby,
yeah, but like 30
and
feet
then
away.
and you're using the amulet, right?
Yeah. How does
Cool.
How does this
Yeah, so-
dimensional door work? And how long do we have to slip through?
Like a turn. Literally like an action. I believe.
So 6 seconds.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've got plenty of time to do
if,
this.
You start walking past, pretending to be a passerby. These two at the front don't seem to pay you much mind, and you kind of stop, equidistant between them, and one of them kind of looks at the other and begins to walk forward as you kind of hold the amulet, and they both just plummet to the ground. Both of them fall asleep. So you have, I'm going to say, about 55 seconds before this guard is going to crescent the corner.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to those two guards and try pull them slightly away from the gate, so then that way, when the guard comes around the corner, he can't see them.
Okay. Are you pulling them away, or just hiding them visually behind bits of stone?
Hiding them visually behind bits of stone.
Cool. Yeah. So you just pull them. I'm gonna say that's gonna cost you another 10 seconds. So you've got 45 seconds.
Once I see them drop as well, I want to drop down to the front of the house at disguise self as one of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, basically, if they walk that way, I want to walk the opposite way to catch the guy coming towards the front.
Buddy, that was the same way.
I don't care.
Okay,
He knows
so
what I mean.
you're assuming one of the guard's positions disguised as the guard.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. So you jump off the roof. I'll say using your wings, you manage to get further enough over the fence, then kind of transform using magic and fall into place and kind of steady yourself. Pick up one of their spears. Yeah.
Grab a spear. Start walking that way.
Wait, what?
You two.
You said he wanted to walk towards one of the guards walking around.
Start walking towards the guard.
So you're not assuming the identities of one of the guards.
I'm disguise selfing to look like them, and I'm going to pretend to be them.
I'm saying, are you assuming their position?
Not their position. I'm going to start walking towards the other guy.
Okay, yeah, sure. So are you walking towards the one that's most soon going to come around?
Yeah, it's the one coming towards us.
Cool. Yeah, so you start walking in that direction. Anything else before those two meet? Anything else?
Yes, I'm assuming I'd probably just have a knife lying around. I want to take it out.
Sure.
Lift the guy's head slightly back and just slit both the throats.
Sure.
Not
yeah.
left alive.
You clear them out. This part of the city is a gated community, so it's there isn't thoroughfare. It's when people come home and leave home, that's when they walk out. So there isn't people around really.
But I'm assuming I've got to lift his helmet up slightly to do it. So I
you're
I want to
really
shimmy
fucking
the
his
helmet
eyes
back
up.
down to make it look as though he's just kind of fallen asleep on the job or something.
Sure. And there is a bit of grass, so the blood that's pooling out is just kind of bleeding into the grass, so it's not immediately recognizable. Anything else?
I think.
So I'm walking. Before I get to the corner, can I put my hand behind my back and kind of do a shoe motion to them two, but to go the opposite side I'm going, so that they're walking with the current of the soldiers.
Sure.
Just so then they
there
don't
are
get
windows.
caught by anyone. Oh, I'll not do it then. I'll not do it.
Okay.
I'll let them figure it out.
So you can stop me because you had about, I'll say 15 seconds spare there, but you're coming across. So now you turn the corner and you see 10 feet, 10, 15 feet from turning this corner is one of the other guards, and he kind of looks confused to see you coming this way, and he kind of shouts out, "What's wrong?"
Nothing, mate. I've just had news from one of the guards inside. Captain, or I think what do I think his title would most likely be?
Make an intelligence check.
That's 13.
13. You think, based on just some of the speech patterns you've heard them saying, you think just saying "boss," that'll probably
imitating them as best as I can, word-wise, being saying something along the lines or with the same meaning of. Nothing. Just one of the guards inside says, "From boss, you and the other fella walking around. Need to stand out the back." And I'll point the back side of the house and just say
At the
keep
back?
watch and stuff.
Why? There's a door there.
I don't know. I don't. Do you want me to go ask him? I'm not getting my throat slit.
You see him just turn to the right, and he's like, "I'll just knock on the window," and he goes to walk to the window.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder. Whoa! Are you really going to guess him? Question him? Do you not think he'll be mad?
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Or intimidation. I'll let you decide.
I want to be persuasion. I want to be like, hey man, like, seriously, are you going to question the boss? This man's like a slaver. Type
Sure.
of, like...
I just
so that
realized
is-
this whole time you should have been making deception checks, but it doesn't matter. You will roll it.
Persuasion is... It's a 15 plus 4, that's a 19.
19. He kind of like... You're a bit of a prick, isn't he? Right, so... Okay, so... Wait, are you... You're from inside, yeah?
Yeah, I heard from inside. But I'm guarding in the front.
Right, so me and the other guy out back. Okay,
Yeah. When he comes round to you, just grab him.
solid, right. Okay, we'll be out back. Just in the middle? Where? Just on the sides? What's...
I don't know, they just said keep an eye out back. I don't know if they're expecting some sort of attack or something, but I could maybe just put on each post so you can look. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Right. Okay, cheers.
Right, no bother, and I'll turn
around.
around and walk away.
Cool.
Right. I'll walk back out front, and I'll, like, same way they circle the building, I'll circle the building with the exact same footing. Like, walking from, like, this corner I've just come out the alleyway along the front of the building, but I'll point my, like, finger like this, like, near my chest, like, holding my spear here or something like that, so it doesn't... discreetly. At Earth or Anya, one of the two, and cast message. The other two guards are gonna keep an eye out in the back. As long as you're not spotted by the windows, you should be clear to enter.
Gonna turn to Anya and go, you ready?
Yep.
What's happening? What's happening, kids? What are we doing?
This is why shit hits the fan.
Yeah, right.
Still have dimension door. What the hell?
Will that get us in the house?
Right, actually,
I mean, no. I mean, I can take one person.
you could dimension door into the house. If you and Earth are dimension door in the house, I'm disguised as a guard.
Yeah, so that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dimension
So-
door into the
I mean, so the windows on the front of the house, they go... The windows on the front of the house, on the left-hand side of the front doors, they go into the dining room where there is one guard, and on the right-hand side of the front doors, they go into the parlor lounge where there is Xavier and two guards. Or you can just go through the front doors into the hallway.
hallway it is. Nice and easy.
Yeah, you don't need to use dimension. You don't need to burn dimension door to go in there. I'll say like because you've knocked out the two front guards, so you don't. Well, you've killed them, so
Yeah.
there's no one guarding the front doors now. So yeah, you shimmy in. Since you guys are getting on board the ship tonight, I don't want you to burn any more spell slots than you need, just in case. But yeah, so you guys shimmy inside the front door. Yeah, so
Right.
you guys see what I did. Oh yeah, Samara.
I've got an idea here. Once we're in the hallway, I want to point at both of them, and I'll cast message individually, and I'll cast message to Anya saying, if you have silence, we could cast it when we go straight in the room, and Urfa can use the sleep. Wait, no, Urfa's already used his sleep. I was thinking Urfa could sleep the guards, but he's already used it.
Yeah.
I'd still, I'll message anything. Just message us so then that nobody else can hear it, because it doesn't go out aloud. You could cast silence and then hopefully none of the other guards will hear what's happening. And I'll message Urfa saying that's what I said.
I don't have silence, but I have pass without trace.
I was gonna say silence probably
that's
wouldn't
not-
be a good idea.
Are you
Because if
sure?
the other guards that start talking to each other and realize, oh, we can't.
Well, I meant to
talk.
silence the room we're going in, because there's going to be two guards and the guy.
It's
Right. Should we just swing in?
Swing in. Do you want to just guns blazing?
Can I?
So just so you guys have all the information you need. Now that you've come in through the front doors. To the right, along the right-hand wall, is the door that leads into the parlor with Xavier and two guards. Down the end of the hallway are two doors next to each other. The left-hand one goes into the gallery where there was one guard, and the right-hand door goes into a bedroom.
Do you want me to just open that door on the side and shoot the one guard with the crossbow and see if it knocks him out?
You can try, sure.
I'm looking for team effort now. I don't want to do something.
It's a
I don't agree
risk
with.
because
So
here's the thing.
confused.
What are you confused about?
I just don't know what the game plan is. Are we just
We don't
Going
have a
in and
game
then-
plan.
At this point, we don't have
There
a
is
game plan.
absolutely no game
we're just
plan.
going in and then deciding?
Yeah, pretty
Basically,
much.
I think our options right now are we can try and incapacitate the two gods on their own in single rooms, but that's the risk, because if we fail to do it quietly and efficiently, they'll be alerted. Or we can cut our losses now and say we have to deal with them guards anyways, and we just right now burst into that room with the main guy, because then at least we'll have surprise. We'll probably all be able, me and Jess will probably be able to get a spell out as we kick the door down.
Ooh, I could shoot the main guy with the paralyzed crossbow and see if it knocks him out.
You could, because if we basically, Brad, is it a single or a double door going into here?
Single door.
So it probably, do you say probably two of us could like be looking in and ready to cast or shoot something when we move the door down? That's like a quick.
Yeah.
So two of us, if we cut our losses and just say we have to deal with them guards, we could get either two spells or like a spell and a shot, something like that, in this door before combat even begins.
There are so this is the room we're talking about. This is the door you're outside of.
Yeah.
There are windows all along here, so someone could also try and make a distraction over here outside the window if you wanted to, just so you had more sneak, but you still get a surprise even if you're not sneaky, you know.
Actually, that's the thing. I'm still disguised as the guard. I could go out to the front window and basically I could knock on the glass, use two kick down the door, shoot two things in, and then as I knock on the glass and I hear the door get kicked down, I can quickly cast a spell through the glass as well. And then all three of us get a surprise action.
Yeah, I'm down for
It's a
that.
good start to combat, really.
I mean, if
Does that sound good, Jess? Or
these
not?
guards don't sound too tough. These guards sound pretty weak. If 30 knocked both of them out, I don't see them being too
Yeah.
bad.
No idea what I'm gonna do.
Any damage spell.
Or just stab.
Mine are so repetitive. Like it's.
I understand what you mean.
Damage.
Also,
I think-
Constitution check for the Drow crossbow. What would that be for? Like, what rating are we going for that? Are we just gonna use my spell save DC or what?
Like what they have to pass.
Yeah,
I think it must say 2 seconds.
I think it will say on the actual thing.
I'm just. I know I didn't give you stats for it. It was like I was like, well, technically in World they should be able to get this. So I'm just looking at the Drow stat blocks.
I can cast Samurai's Bonded Supercharge before I go outside as well.
So, Drow crossbow. Hand crossbow. Blah 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 blah. The target must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 1 hour. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the target is also unconscious while poisoned in this way. The target wakes up if it takes damage, or if another creature takes an action to shake it awake.
So to knock it unconscious, it needs to hit like an 8.
5 or lower, I think.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Right. So I will cast Samurai's Bonded Supercharge on Jade.
Read me the stuff like MVT stuff.
The
Yeah, components. That's the word I was looking for.
yeah. Oh, it is verbal. I'll leave it.
Okay.
Probably be a bad idea to start shouting on, but I'll put Jade behind them because obviously they can then get surprise attack in. Then Jade can run forwards in front of them.
Sure.
Actually, no. I'm gonna put Jade behind them, but ready to go into the opposite door with that guy in his own.
Is she just gonna send Jade off to go and like?
Just because it's one less guy we have to worry about at the time.
Well, you know, there is another guy in the next room, and then 2 people around the back of the house. If you want, you could just send Jade to go and start picking them up.
Yeah, I think that's like I'll tell Jaden order. Go to that guy opposite with the closest one, then the second guy in the house, then the two in the back. And I'll
Sure.
just be like, and
That's funny,
when
I
they
like
kick
that.
down that door, you start going the other way.
Sure, I like that. Yeah. Jade
Uh,
just stands in front of the closed door, waiting for you to do it, and as soon as you do it, she's just gonna kick it open.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm now gonna still disguised.
I'm gonna put
I'm
my
gonna-
helmet on as well.
Yeah, I'll get
Sure.
ready for these two. Say they're ready, and then I'll go knock on the window.
Go. Yeah. So you're gonna go outside, opposite the door, and make a bit of a distraction.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you guys ready? Anya, as ready as you'll be. Sure. So Samara gives you a nod, heads back out the front door, crests along the front of the house and to the side, to the windows opposite the front door. Samara, what would you like to do?
Is technically the spear I'm holding actually the spear, or can I say I disguise self to my staff into looking like a spear with me?
Ooh,
It changes
fuck
my
it, I like
clothes
that.
and stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I'll knock on the window, and the second someone, even if they like knock back or like bring their head close, the second they get as close as I think they're gonna get, I'm just gonna hit the window with mine, trying to shatter the window.
Sure. You see on the inside, I mean, I'll just play the scene, but just know, Samara, you can't hear this. You can see it, and Anya and Eartha, you can hear it, but you can't see it because you're behind a closed door. So you see Xavier whip around to look at you, and he's like, and then he snaps at one of the guards in the corner and goes, "Open the window." So you guys hear that, open the window. So one of these guards kind of trots forward and kind of begins pushing down on the window to push it open.
Oh, instead, I'm gonna wait until seeing that. I'm just gonna wait for him to open it, and is there a way I can line up him and any of the other two without hitting the door, which my friends are about to come through, in a line, like one behind the other?
You could perfectly line up one of the guards and Xavier without hitting the door. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that, and then I am going to lightning strike with my staff.
Sure. So this guard kind of pushes open the door, pushes open the window, and it kind of like swings sideward open. So it's almost like a small door into this room. And he's like, "What? What's the problem?"
Let's go. Surprise! And then I'll shoot it.
Cool.
So that is, they need to make a DC 17 dexterity save throw.
That's good.
8, 13,
Dexterity. was it?
18. Yeah, dexterity. 23.
Oh. Okay.
29.
Xavier got 18 plus 1, so he succeeds, but the guard doesn't.
35. 39. So the guard takes 39 lightning damage. Then Xavier takes half that, which is 20 damage.
Which ability was that again, sorry?
Lightning strike, the rod of lightning which shoots out forwards.
So yeah, Samara whips and then points the spear forward. He's like, "What are you doing?" And this pillar of lightning erupts from the tip of the spear and just bursts in a straight line towards this room, like through this room, just disintegrating the guard that was standing in front of the window. And his kind of protection will cover Xavier somewhat. And as Xavier kind of rolls rolls over a sofa to get out of the way, he's kind of scorched on the back a bit, and some of his kind of garment is tattered with a bit of blackened lightning. And you guys, it doesn't quite break the wall, but further up the corridor, Anya and Eartha, some of the wood just kind of splinters out as you see crackles of lightning flow through it. Your surprise round. Anya and Eartha, what would you like to do?
I'll let Anya go first if she knows what she's doing.
While they're doing this, I'll be back in 1 second.
Sure.
Do you know what you're doing?
No, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, right. Well, do you have a crossbow or anything?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Go through the door and shoot the other guard. The guard that's not Ash. And I shall do the
Okay.
same. And we're going to try kill that guard.
Okay.
So Anya, that's what you're doing. So Anya, you're gonna jump through the door and take a shot. Roll to hit.
19.
19 hits. Roll damage. How much was it, sorry?
9.
9. Oh, so close.
What? Oh, so close.
That means you'll be like,
You shoot you kind of step through the door. So in terms of when you step through that door, that guard is like directly to the left, but all the way down. So you can't like stay outside. So you just kind of sidestep in and shoot down, and it like wings him in the side of the neck. Doesn't like stick in his neck, but it like cuts across his neck and sticks into the wall. And you see him just like, and he kind of falls back into the wall, dropping his spear to the ground, and he's like holding his neck and grasping for his spear. I'm going to say he's prone, as that just like completely took him by surprise, and he's going for his spear. So he's going to miss his next round, but he's still just alive, but like 2 hit points alive. So Eartha, what's your surprise round?
I was planning on shooting Xavier, but Jackson's done a pretty good job at damaging him enough, so I'm just going to walk in, like, towards Xavier, eye the guard, and just shoot him with the crossbow to see if I can finish him.
Sure, go for it. Roll to hit.
That is a nice, lovely 16.
16 hits. Roll damage.
1.
Is it actually?
Nah, I was 2. I wish it was 1. Because I would have been. Wait, would he still be alive if it was 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he dead with a 2?
Yes, he had 2.
Okay.
So you kind of slowly march in, kind of drawing your sword to take on Xavier, and then just at last minute turn left and decide and just lift up your crossbow with the other hand and shoot the guard as he's kind of like getting up on the spear, and he's kind of holding his neck from where Anya wounded him, and you just kind of he belts back into the wall, and the spear drops to the ground. So that's both guards in here done. You also hear as Anya, as you're kind of settling yourself in the room, you hear Jade kick in the other door. You hear a loud as she kicks in the door to go and take care of some of the other guards. So yeah, it's only Xavier in here now. Xavier says, "What is the meaning of this?" As he kind of readies himself and draws the long sword and holds it up high. You 3 roll initiative.
Oh, it's not a better day than a nat 20 on Samurai. That's 24.
Samurai is 24. Eartha?
A solid 15.
15. And Anya?
I got 15 as well.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to go second?
I'll let Anya go first.
Let Earth.
Oh.
Oh.
Beat you to it.
Too late. Cool. Well, that means Samurai, you were at the top of the initiative. So you, I would say, because you'd have to technically climb to get through this window, you would lose half of your movement. So you'd have, since it's 25, you'd have like 12 feet of movement.
Can I get to him with 12 feet of movement?
Oh, you actually, you can. I didn't think you could, but you can. So you kind of like straddle jump over the window, still like wielding your staff, knowing it's your staff, but it looks like a spear, and you still look like the guard. Oh wait, no. Does disguise self-fade when you attack?
I will have a quick read. It fails to hold up physical inspection. If you use this spell, to discern inspect appearance. It doesn't say that.
Okay, well then, yeah. So you still look like the guard, assuming you want to, and you, kind of wielding the staff, but as the spear. Now, tell me what you want to do here.
I want to get up close give him a clocking with the staff and use the lightning ability to do an extra 2d6 as I bat him with the staff.
Cool. So you kind of wielding the staff, getting ready to do that. You straddle jump over the windowsill and you walk into the room, kind of kicking a futon out of the way as you march towards him. And imagine like from all the damage that lightning strike's just done, imagine bits of kind of wood dust falling from the ceiling. Imagine bits of ash in the air. Imagine the blood squirting from the guard that Earth and Anya have peppered with arrows. For a moment, time seems to just slow down. All of those effects the blood kind of hangs in the air for a moment. The ash kind of settles in the air for a moment. And you feel a presence kind of come over your shoulder. You feel like someone's face is hanging right over your shoulder. And you hear kind of whispering very close to your ear. I've given you a gift. Make a mess. And it pulls away again.
Oh, I don't know if now's the time.
What would you like to do?
Oh, but it'll be... I'll stop. I like mid-swing, I'll like whip my staff back to my side, stare at him dead in the eyes, and kind of cower for like half a second, and kind of like give him this false sense of like, yeah, this is it. I'm gonna beat these guys, and then I am going to use chroma configuration. Which,
okay, tell us about it.
As an action, my form gets bigger and changes to that of a young dragon, of colours of which
we're still in the
eggs
house.
I have eaten. Transformation only lasts for a minute, but it ends basically if I haven't done damage or taken damage.
Buddy, we're in a house.
On my turn. And also I gain 2 points of exhaustion when I return back. I know, buddy, but it'll be really funny.
So, you guys see this. Anya, you've slid into the room to shoot the guard. Aether, you've marched pretty close to Xavier. And you guys see Samura kind of lift up what you see as a spear, but you know as his staff. And he kind of stops. And you just kind of see him like look around the room for a minute. And you're kind of not sure what's happening. And Aether, you keep going towards Xavier, not sure what he's doing. And he kind of puts the staff back down, whips it behind his back. And then you see that look he gives Xavier, that kind of empty stare. And you just see like his neck kind of break out of shape and his body kind of begin to swell and grow as in less than 5 seconds, Samura's shape has shifted into the large form of a green dragon, a young green dragon. For scale, you are probably... Each of you standing at your full height is probably about the size of a young dragon's like leg or arm. So this thing is huge. As you shift in this thing and you fully change, your wings snap back, your neck snaps back, and you decimate the roof. Just break it completely open. As Samura, from your visual, your head breaks through the roof and you see the light of day above you. And as your wings kind of beat back as well, the rest of the roof just begins to cave in underneath you and break back. What would you like to do in this turn?
It takes an action to do, so it is my turn.
Cool.
Oh no, I don't want to use poison breath. I could kill a couple more people than I want to.
Yeah. So first of all, Anya, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, well, I'm definitely dead.
It was two. It was two.
Buddy, we're in the middle of a city.
I knew it was a stupid idea, but it lined up so perfectly. It was just too
27.
storytelling to not.
27. Oh yeah, Anya, because you're only you just took one step into the room to shoot the guy. You see this happen, and you just take that one step back, and you just kind of, as a bit of brick and roof just falls in where you are standing. Not like blocking, like you could still like jump in, like jump over it. But
Yeah.
you're like now back in the hallway, just like no. You can still shoot as well and use your spells from here, so it's not obstructing you. But the roof, specifically in the lounge, is just collapsing in as this huge dragon has suddenly taken up that space. Eartha, wait, sorry, Anya. Would you like to shoot or cast a spell or anything like that, or go back in?
Go back in. I'll use. Sorry, I'm just having a long think here.
No, it's okay. If you want, I can give you a minute and we can do Ellis's turn and then you can...
Yeah.
Sure? So you guys rolled the same anyway, so it's more like you guys have like this big amorphous turn. So, Eartha, yeah, you got it ready. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm sorry,
with
buddy,
disadvantage.
but it
If
was,
I fail
it was
this-
too cosmetic.
I'm going to kill
With
you.
disadvantage.
I'll dig you out.
What was that, Bradley?
With disadvantage.
For fuck's sake, the one time I roll well for dexterity.
You're really close. She was at the door. You're in the middle of the room.
17.
Double 20?
No, I got 18 and 17.
17, cool.
I was with an
yeah.
18.
What's your plus?
There's a plus.
0.
Oh, okay.
There's a
17 is
plus.
still pretty good. So, Eartha, you're like, what the fuck? Like, this hasn't happened before. You're like, I was gonna hit him with the sword. I had it. But I had it under control. And so you kind of like, you begin like stepping, like taking a step back when this like Samura starts growing just out of confusion. And then the roof starts coming in, hurtling down towards you. And you manage to like, as Xavier had done when the lightning came through, you just dive over like a sofa, like a chaise longue, trying to get out of the way. I'm going to say not so much from the falling roof, just kind of from hitting your stomach, just so desperately trying to jump. You take 3 damage, just like in evasive maneuvers, just like collateral damage to you from like diving out of the way. Yeah, other than that, you're not prone or anything. You get back up quickly. What would you like to do?
I want to throw the crossbow across the room quite angrily and just walk out.
Sure. Do you want to you can try and smash out a window if you want.
No, I'm walking out the door that Jess is in, and I'm just going to go hunt for the other guards. Not that they're going to be around, just... There's no point in me being here if there's a 20-foot, if not bigger, dragon just in the middle of a city.
Sure, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
You're right next to a window, but you gotta walk across the room, I guess, to the door. 16. 16, sure. You kind of just start, like, you kind of stand back up, and you get that sword ready again, and you're like, since you jumped, he's gotten even bigger. He's like, the roof, like, you can see the sky now, you can see the daylight above you, and you're like, you see Anya, like, whoop, back out, and you're like, okay, and you just start running, and through the bit of rubble that had covered the bottom of the doorway, you just kind of 1 foot and jump out of the door again. And some of the damage is spreading across, but the roof in the hallway is nowhere near collapsing yet. You don't have enough. I'll give you this. You get to the door with the next room in. You see a guard in a bloody pulp on the ground. And Jade is not there. You just see like this guard with his brain bashed in along the wall, like scrubbed up in a corner. Like his helmet is like inside his brain. Like it's disgusting. Anyway, Anya, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna stay where I am and just continue to shoot arrows towards Xavier because I can't
shoot
think-
one. Yeah, go for it. That's good.
14 to hit.
14 to Xavier.
And if not, can we
Doesn't
roll?
hit.
It hits.
Yeah, you can reroll. No, it doesn't, but you can reroll.
Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't any better.
You can burn inspiration if you want, but it's up to you.
Hang on, let me just use one more.
Yeah.
I think
You do
I've got
have a
this.
lot.
Oh man, I can't. I'm not hitting any of these.
I'll just
What,
leave
any
it
of them are
because
for one?
Huh?
What, any of them are one?
No, I got. So what was my first one?
I think it was 14 or 15.
14, then 3, then 11.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so you take a few, like, but, like, honestly, most of them are on track for Xavier, and then some rubble just takes your bolt out, and you're like, oh, well, okay. And you try another one, and then some more debris just kind of smacks it down, and you're like, okay. So, yeah. Okay, Xavier. Xavier kind of like lowers his sword and like looks up at you, Samura, kind of your huge eyes like beginning to point back down. Again, like you're a young dragon, so it's not like, you know, it's not the end of the world by any means.
Yeah.
You're fairly small. It's just because you're in a one-story building makes you look a lot bigger. And he's just like, what in the hell is this? And he's just gonna try and take he's just gonna unleash some multi-attacks at you. So he makes 2 attacks with his long sword and 1 attack with his short sword. So he is going to.
let's see how much damage he can do. He has to. If he can't do 136 damage, I'll be not impressed.
Oh my god. Okay, 18, 19, and natural 20 plus 5 to hit.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, I
believe
don't know why.
the lowest was 18, was it?
Yes. Wait, what's the dragon's what's the dragon's AC out of curiosity?
18.
Oh, okay. Okay. So. Okay, I didn't think I'd get to hit you, so that's fun.
Stab into the dragon
no.
a little bit. Get me a little angry.
So the short sword does double damage. So, oh god, 8, 7, oh my god, 15. Plus 3, so that's 6, 21. Okay, that's...
I can actually manage.
Okay, so in his left hand, he has the short sword kind of facing back, and the long sword in his right hand. Normally, he takes 2 huge strikes at you with the long sword, and kind of opens a bit of a gash in like your lower chest, the dragon's lower chest, and with the short sword, just drives it in for a total of 26 damage, just tearing into you with all of with everything he has at him.
Does that make it my turn?
Yes, it does.
Ooh. Right. So I'm gonna bite him. Then I'm gonna claw him twice.
Sure, go for it.
And as my head moves down towards them, I'm gonna like give a quick look to them and just go, in common, run.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
I've already gone.
Yeah, but I mean like run. Okay, so that's a 9 plus 7, so that's 16. Bite. And then it's 26.
16 misses, 26 hits.
And then it's 23? It's over 20, I know that much.
Sure, 2 hit.
So, the bite misses, but the 2 claws hit them. So, how much damage do I do? 4d6 plus 8. 4, 10, 14, 15. 15 plus 8 is 23 damage.
23 damage, very nice. Very nice. And
I want to try and position my body so I'm not destroying the hallway.
Okay, sure, yeah. Staying mostly still, I think, would manage that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with your 2 front claws, you kind of just try and beat him into the ground. You kind of go in for that bite, and he kind of punches the snout and moves out the way, and kind of off balance, you strike him with the claw from behind, and you catch him with the other claw, kind of tossing him between for a minute, as he's got some like big gashes from the claws, kind of ripping through his clothes. Yeah, good turn. Next is Anya. Are you taking another arrow shot, or are you going with Eartha? What's the vibe? Or a spell, or whatever.
Uh, I think I'm just gonna move as far away as possible.
That's fair. Are you going out the front doors, like the way you came in?
Yes.
So yeah, Anya bursts out the double doors, kind of just sprinting at them, elbow barges them open as they swing open, and you just start running towards the gate. You get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, so you burst out of the front of the gate with the 2 dead guards lying at the side, and you kind of turn around, kind of like halting in the dust and turning around to look at the building, and you can see like occasionally like Samura's the green draconic head kind of bursting through the roof, and you can see and you can see through the windows just more of the collapse happening on the inside. Cool, good turn. Aether, are you moving through into the next room?
Nah, I'm just ditching. I don't want to be caught
Okay.
near a dragon in the city.
Cool, fair enough. Are you just running the way Anya came?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, so you run back into the hallway, again, sprint down. The doors are already open. You assume Anya's gone. Yeah, then you catch her further down the road, and you just keep running as well until you catch up with her, and you turn around and see the same thing. That makes it Xavier's turn. And he's going to do the... He's going to do the same thing.
Out of pure curiosity.
18.
Oh,
Yeah.
we said the same
What's that?
thing. I thought you meant run away. So I was like, oh, does Jack's get an attackable opportunity?
man.
But he's not running away.
No. Yeah, he's the room is collapsing, so I think he's figuring, like, I was trying to decide whether you want to run away, but yeah, between getting crushed by a roof and then getting splattered by a dragon, I think he's like, might as well just fucking see how this goes. So that was 18, 20, and 24 to hit. All 3 hit, I'm afraid. No double damage though. 7, 2,
Hasn't even done a fifth of my
Fine.
health yet, so I'm okay.
15, 19 plus 3, 21 damage.
Okay.
Doing the same thing, just kind of aiming for that little wound he's made in your lower chest, just going for that with the long sword and the short sword.
Right, I am now the other 2 are out of DC 14 is naturally that hard to dodge. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna go for the same multi-attack. I'm gonna bite him and then double claw.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, the bite misses. The claw hits. And the claw hits because they were both over 20.
Sure. So is that 2?
Yeah, 2 claws. So there's 7, 8, 13 plus 8 is 21 damage. I swear it's the same as last time. I'm not rolling very well.
Okay. That's funny. So, yeah, same thing, just batting in between your claws, doing more damage to the roof. Yeah. You see, like, after you swat him back, he kind of skids back and catches himself on the floor with the longsword, and he looks like he's on 1 hit point. And he is like blood coming from his eyes, ears, sides of the mouth, covered in dirt and soot and sweat and ash. His hair, once slipped back to the beginning, is now all tangled in front of his face. His clothes are shredded and ripped. He looks like Aether after the lion fight on steroids.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just kind of like, he picks himself up on the longsword, kind of spits a wad of saliva and blood out onto the floor. But not quite dead. Anya, Aether, are you guys doing anything or just staying outside?
Staying outside, well away.
Cool, yeah. Anya, same. Cool. So it's Xavier's turn. He is going to attempt to escape, not out of the door, running up the rubble and onto the roof. But Jackson, you do get an attack of opportunity, so...
I presume I don't get to multi-attack on that, I just get to do 1.
Nah. Yeah, I think it's the claw.
Oh, does it say? It doesn't say exactly which one I get when it's attack of opportunity, but we'll
I'll
see.
allow you to choose, but tell me which one you're using and tell me what the distance on it is.
Bite has 10 feet, and I've rolled a 17, and that's plus 7, so that's 24. So I can
Cool.
eat him.
Cool, yeah. So Xavier, kind of looking you in the eyes, spits the blood out and goes, pulls the sword out of the ground. Fuck this. And he just starts running up this like wall of rubble that leads out onto the roof. We'll say is that what you want to do? Do you want to eat him?
Yeah, I'd love to just eat the body.
So he gets out onto the roof. He's sprinting away. And Earth and Anya, you see Xavier appear on the roof, running kind of east, running to the left of the house. And it looks like what he's going to do is he's going to just attempt to run off the edge and jump far enough to make it over the fence. He's making like a mad dash. And he's like going for it. You see him drop the short sword and drop the long sword, and he's just running towards the edge. And then you see Samura, the green dragon, burst from the house. More of the house begins to collapse. And Xavier, as the floor kind of falls underneath Xavier, the dragon's jaw replaces the floor as Xavier kind of falls down the gullet of Samura. And as that crunch kind of slams down on it, the only thing not behind Samura's teeth are Xavier's arms, and the arms just crunch off at the side and fall to the roof, and then inside the collapsing building. But otherwise, Xavier falls down your gullet, Samura. You feel him like not scratching because he doesn't have arms, but you feel like him screaming as he falls down your gullet and into your draconic belly.
Oh, now, in theory of the way this works, since I can't exactly take more damage, I have one turn before I
6 seconds and you turn back into a man, yeah.
My fly speed is 80. Can I get out the city with 160 feet?
No.
Okay, I am going to try and dive down in between the rubble and transform back into Samura in the rubble so no one knows it was me.
Sure.
Then I want to disguise self as a very wounded guard.
Sorry, so you now have 2 points of exhaustion. So
Yes.
every time you use that ability, you gain 2 points of exhaustion. So you have disadvantage on ability checks, and your speed is halved.
Yeah.
So first of all, you're in the falling rubble. Make a dexterity saving throw. It isn't. You don't have disadvantage on saving throws. It's just ability checks, so that's just normal.
I got 19.
19. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna say you just last minute with the rubble falling, you managed to burst out the side of the window and fall to the grass on the outside, and you make it as Samura to the gates with Anya and Eartha.
And then can I get Jade to come out? Because I don't know if I have a telepathic link with Jade because of the symbol I got.
Jade, you see Jade come walking around the side of the building, fucking covered in blood, just covered in gore. Like, and there's like an intestine draped over one of her shoulders. She's like just completely like filthy. Like her knuckles, she was silver, like plate mail armor. She is like she looks like Ellis's armor almost. On the front, she's just splattered red.
I'll quickly just like grab even like a cloth or like something off one of the other two if I can, and just try and get some blood off quickly, or like take my shirt off and like wipe her down, and then just like put my shirt in fucking Eartha's bag to get cleaned later.
Sure.
And then we'll dash.
So at dash speed, Earth and Anya, you're moving 60 feet around. Samura, you can fly at 50.
50, yeah.
So even flying, Samura, you're kind of lagging behind a bit. Extremely worn out from what you've just done.
Yeah.
But you know, trade-offs. And so yeah, you guys, where are you guys going? Are you just trying to disappear, or have you got somewhere in mind?
I've got nowhere in mind.
Maybe Mamushi?
Get down towards the harbour, maybe?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sure. So you guys kind of beeline towards you kind of attempt to go in the opposite direction of the harbour for a bit, just trying to make yourself get lost in the city and separate yourselves, and then you start kind of calmly walking towards the harbour as to not arouse suspicion. And yeah, about half an hour later, you arrive at the harbour. The city is abuzz. This reminds you of another time you were leaving a city, and there was a royal mess made by an iron golem after you.
By the same guy.
So
After you'd went to a party.
can I turn to the bird for a second?
Sure.
I'm gonna say so.
Your bird or your bird?
No, the stupid one.
Which bird?
I'm gonna ask him. So the body, where is it?
Samura puts a hand on his stomach. Your stomach rumbles.
The idea of getting the crest, the thing that was on the body. How'd that work out?
Can I make an intelligence check to see if I remember it?
Sure.
The thing that we need
13.
most.
No.
Okay.
What about the
hey,
papers
look,
that he probably had on his body to say it was him?
it was
Or his
more.
journal.
It was more important that he was out the picture than anything else.
Which could have
I
been
just
done without
secured the job.
No, you made the job harder. The job was to get information off him to become him, not eat him.
Right, look, I will tell you the truth, I promise. I taking deep breaths, just trying to get some sort of energy back. But for now, we need to get somewhere private.
Where?
And also, just to add to this, Eartha, being from Chisenta, you have a mixed history with dragons. Dragons are a bad thing in your homeland. As we've encountered, there is currently a tyrannical red dragon who rules a portion of Chisenta and who has done for a period of time, off and on. So, you don't like coming across dragons. They kind of boil your blood a bit. But
Do you think I threw the crossbow?
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm just adding to the
which,
flavour.
I'm then going to go into my bag of holding and pull out another one.
Get a new one, yeah.
I do
Cool.
have 4.
I know, yeah.
left, including one.
So yeah, you guys make towards the harbour. Probably by this point, it's pretty early still. I'd say it's 1 p.m. So the Nymph's Bosom isn't due in the city till 5 p.m.
Can I?
But you guys need to sort clothes and disguises and whatever you like, and rendezvous. You're looking for a schooner, and you're looking for a small-ish ship, which Mumushi, Chuko, and Gray said they were gonna negotiate.
I mean,
Right,
look on
what
the
time
bright
did you-
side, buddy.
Say it was exactly. Did you say 1 p.m.?
We were roundabout, yeah, just afternoon.
So I have time. A short rest isn't going to be helpful though. Right. I guess we just push for. We'll find a quiet alleyway and I'll quickly stop them and be like, "Look, I know. Firstly, you hate dragons. I've seen that of your brother, and I know you also, Anya, must be very confused right now. It's the same reason I can go invisible. My good old acquaintance Tiamat. That's why I had to eat the egg when we raided that dragon. Look, Eva, I know you don't like dragons, but come on, I'm still me. Did I hurt you? While I turned into a dragon? Did I hit
I want
you?
to show him the bruising that was caused by the fallen building he created.
That pulls up his shirt like a little boy.
It's
Look at
better
it.
than a stab wound.
You know who Tiamat is, right? And what kind of
Unfortunately,
shit
yes.
it's caused me in the past.
I know exactly who she is and what she is, but right now, do I have much of a choice?
Yes.
She's kind of helping me achieve what I need to achieve. If there's a day we fall out, there's a day we fall out, but so far, I have done Nothing bad.
Anya, as Eartha and Samura are kind of having this exchange, you're kind of just standing a bit to the side listening to them, and you kind of you see some movement on a small ship in the harbour, pretty close by, like 20, 30 feet. And you recognise Grey from your little excursion, and then you see Mumushi kind of walking across the deck. So you think you've clocked which ship they've gotten.
Mhm.
So you guys can make your way over there. But other than that, is there any last minute things you guys want to add, or should we wrap it up there?
I'll turn to Eartha and I'll say, look, if you usually seem to trust me when I'm a bird. If you don't trust me now, I'm in some sort of way a dragon. Feel free to stab me with
You
But
have
do me a favour.
feathers when you're a bird.
Wait
Scales.
until I'm asleep. And I'll walk away, like towards the boat.
Hey, yo, wait! I got one more thing to say.
He grabs
me
you
on the shoulder.
like your arm.
There's one upside to this. I could bullshit my way into the ship with this. It's the one upside so far. Documents got
That's true.
destroyed because the house went boom. Need a guard, because random disappearing dragon.
Sure. Makes sense. Yeah, well then we'll call it there.